Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be starting the very first video of our Rate My Fight series. So we've opened a channel within Discord. Anybody who wants to post a video of their fights with either myself or any member of the Avenger Squadron or even the trainee members here in the Discord, right? So if you want some input, some feedback as to maybe mistakes that you're doing, some input on things you can improve. This is the first video in that series, right? So this is actually not me flying. This is our boy Traveling Anvil from the Immobile Industries. So what we're going to do here is we're going to watch this fight again here. We're going to break it down and we're going to point out some key points here that are going to help with not only Traveling, but also everyone else watching as to some tips that are commonly made, some mistakes that are commonly made, and some things to improve on. So here we go. All right, so a lot of times what ends up happening is you have this thing, what's called over input, okay? So a lot of things in this fight here is pip fixation, which means Anvil's eyes right now aren't really on the target itself. They're more, he's keeping his eyes focused on the little box, like the pip itself, rather than the actual movement direction that the ship is going in, right? So if we look carefully here, if we look at the direction of the movement that this enemy arrow is producing, rather than where the arrow is pointing, right? So right now you can see that the arrow is moving in kind of a very small corkscrew type pattern. And what's the problem for the Gladius pilot is he's putting too much input on his right stick. So you'll see that he's overshooting off the target, on the target now, because he's matched his velocity and his direction. But you can see here that as soon as the arrow makes a move, the nose of the Gladius, see how it's kind of lurching onto target and lurching off the target. That's because there's too much input being put on the right stick, which is very common because what happens is we tend to be quite snappy when we're getting on target. And what I want everyone to understand is if you want to be smooth and you want to be translationally very smooth with your aim, the trick is not to make fast, twitchy movements with your stick. It's to gradually guide yourself on. Okay, so let's watch that again. And what I want you guys to look for, now we're watching it in real time, is I want you to keep a cognizant direction on what's actually the direction of the enemy arrow here. Okay, regardless of the nose position of the arrow, I want you to look at where the arrow was actually floating towards, right? Right now that was a little bit of an enemy corkscrew here, and he's dancing within the first couple degrees of that zone, right? If you watch the box, you'll see that the box is always trailing a lot of times behind the enemy arrow. This is due to the simple fact that if you're using lag pips and you're being pip focused with lag pips, what ends up happening is you end up dragging the pip behind your target, because what happens is the arrow makes a move and then you compensate after the move has been done. Whereas if your eyes were fixated on the enemy plane itself and you're able to kind of build that three-dimensional picture in your mind, then you'd be able to roll yourself into the direction that the arrow is moving in, get your wings nice and level, and don't overcompensate for the small movements and just kind of guide yourself onto the target. I think Anvil's accuracy would go up a lot higher, right? So let's take a look at his second fight and see if maybe some of those corrections have been made, right? There's the pass, there's the merge as we go in. 45-degree turn, which is good. Again, you always want to take the shortest possible path towards the target. Okay, so that means if you need to turn right or left, whatever is the shortest path. Okay, here we go. Now he's pitching his nose down. Now he rolls too much to the right. Now he's not rolling enough to the left, right? So if we pause right here, what we're looking for is like the stability for your shot. You'll notice that right now, Anvil is pitching his nose down, and now he starts, okay, that's good. So he should have stopped rolling there, but instead he rolled all the way through. Now he's rolling back to the other side, and he's not really creating too much deflection. Now he's tracking in yaw, which he shouldn't be doing. And he's getting baited on those small movements that Dylan's doing. You can see that small little kind of roll wave, and he's taking the bait too much. He's too fixated on the actual ship itself in terms of what its current orientation is, and he's not fixating enough on the direction of movement or momentum direction that the arrow is coasting in. Now they're in a rate limited fight here, which he should be pulling up and to the left at a 45, which he does, which is perfect. That's what we want to see. You'll notice he gets guns on first before the arrow can. So that's a really good job there. That's a good execution on a rate fight. Back into the nose to nose. And again, so the problem I see consistently happening here with Anvil is his biggest linchpin here, guys, is his roll. Right? He's got to roll into the direction right here. That's a good roll track. Right here is a good example of a good roll track. But now he's tracking too much in yaw. He needs to move a little bit more to the left here so he can prepare for the next shot. There it is again. Roll. That's a good roll track here. He's got the momentum canceled. Now he rolls to the right. Good track again. There's some more hits. See, these are good rolls there. And again, right, you don't want to overcompensate. Here's a good example too. Now, the enemy arrow starts to roll against him. There we go, roll to the left, into the shot. Nice pull up, a little bit nice and easy. Perfect track here. See, those are good shots. Right here, bad track. It all comes down to, guys, is the prediction and the direction of where the movement is going, right? See how he's pulling his nose to the left here in yaw? You want to stay away from that kind of behavior. You want to get yourself rolling into the direction of where the momentum is carrying your target. Because the closer you can get to that shot position, the better you can actually counter maneuver against your opponent to help get away from incoming damage on top of that, because you have stronger bottom thrusters. So here we go again. Same problem we had before. Into a rate fight here. Not too bad. Get the guns charged up, but it's looking pretty bad for the, yeah, there we go. So again, right, it's all the little things, guys. It's all the little things, right? The arrow is hard to track, there's no doubt about it, right? But the biggest improvements I can see from Anvil here is reduce the input a little bit. Don't focus so much on the little box getting onto the ship. Keep your eyes on the enemy target and use the box as an assist. Just like if you're shooting a rifle, you should be front sight focused rather than kind of keeping both sights on. You should look through your sights to the target instead of looking directly at the sight post, right? So if some of you guys out there who are experienced with marksmanship, but I'll explain it maybe for some people who aren't used to gunnery or rifles in general, is imagine you're trying to kick a soccer ball into a net. You're not looking at the ball and then the net. What you're doing is you're looking straight at the net, and you're not looking at the ball, but you're setting yourself up so that when you kick that ball goes right where you're looking for, right? Don't look at the stuff in between you and the ball so much. Look at where you want to go with the shot and then help guide your tracers on. The pip system is just simply there as kind of a double check. But if you rely too heavily on the pip system, it will lie to you. All right, it'll give you incorrect information because it can't account for all the dynamics of the fight, and that's okay. That's why the intuition of you as the pilot is gonna help get your shots on target, right? So what I want to see from Anvil is I want to see smoother rolls, less input on the aim. Just don't overcompensate too much. Just go easy, right? Roll smoothly into your shots. There's too much roll movement going on sometimes. It's either on or off. So I want a smoother roll position, and I want to see him slowly guide himself onto target. And again, you've got to roll into those shots. Always, always, always roll into your shots. If you can do those things, brother, I'm telling you, you're going to have massive increase in performance, right? And that goes for everybody watching this. These mistakes happen all the time, right? So not a bad few fights here from Anvil, and also obviously he's got one of the best pilots to spar with, right? So really exciting to see the development of Anvil. I'm sure we'll feature you back on the channel again, Anvil, maybe in a few more weeks, and we'll see how far you've come. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up episode 1 here of Rate My Fight. Send your videos in, guys. Have a blast with it. Put that little 1% in every day, guys. Get used to the process. I always say this on stream. It's like jiu-jitsu class, right? You show up to the gym, you get your gi on, you start rolling with the black belts, with the purple belts, whatever the case may be. You get choked out, just keep going. Just keep going. Every day, show up to class, and before you know it, you're going to be an absolute monster. All right, guys, take a look at Predator mounts if you're interested in getting a mounting system for your joysticks. They're the ones I use. I find them absolutely fantastic. Use the code Avenger1 if you'd like to get a discount. Hope to see you guys all out for stream, and thank you so much, guys, for all the love and support. Please leave a comment, guys. It really helps with the algorithm. We want to see this channel grow. You guys have been nothing but fucking supportive. Thank you so much, guys. I was Avenger 1, and I'll see you next time.